playing some Skyrim today. So, basically, found my way into the vampire chick's mom's little secret laboratory, I guess, if you want to call it that. After searching around and finding the ingredients, we basically created a portal to where everybody who just so happens to get trapped in a soul gem ends up. So still didn't find her mother. But on the bright side, we could still attempt to look. So, while being in here, I've encountered people with special tasks for me and to hunt for things. Basically side quests. Upon showing up in here, I didn't think about it, I just kind of went with it. Found what we call them soul husks. And you collect those. And apparently, upon going through, you also collect fishers or something. It's quite interesting. So hey, Justin. Here we are. Go through these buildings, you find things. Sometimes you encounter dead things that want to kill you. Sometimes you end up just looking around and like this guy.
No one ever escapes. There is no escape. Why would you even try?
I'd heard stories about the Soul Cairn, but never thought I'd see it myself. So far, it's about what I imagined.
So upon entering here, I've come across these black skeletons, and honestly, with a level as high as mine, you really, they're really nothing. But there is a particular part in here. It looks like a giant soul gem, and it sucks the life out of you upon getting close to it. Not really sure what to do about that. The quest for that particular area hasn't really showed up in my quest log yet. I already have so many, but this just seems really cool, and I think it's part of the storyline. And this is like this purple barrier. I can't cross it, and I'm not really sure why. So I'm just gonna mosey and wander around in here. Perhaps I'll find her mom.
The clouds, The sky? It's all wrong. Everything's wrong.
Oh, also, upon entering in here, there's a special horse that you can get, and it's not really as good as the unicorn as far as it being convenient, though. It's really not that bad. But it's basically a purple ghost skeleton horse. And I have yet to capture it. So those things I just collected, those are the soul husk I was referring to. They kind of look like dried up coral. If you can see it. These are ones I've already harvested, and this is what was left behind when I picked them. And it's kind of how I can tell I've already been to certain places already. I think it's this building where it's got that giant soul gem up there. Right there. Not really sure on what to do with it or how to defeat it. This is all new to me. But let's check the map. Okay. Here we are. Doesn't really show much on here. And it shows where I've been. And there are some areas that I don't think I've quite accessed yet. But I'm here. And if I keep wandering around over here, I might find something. So once again, I run into the barrier. And you see a lot of these little stone setups here, and I'm not really sure what those are for. I have yet to figure that out. It could just be for aesthetic purposes, you know. Here we are. Soulfisher I haven't harvested yet. So there's an enemy over here somewhere. Possibly on the other side of this building or on top of the building. We gonna find out. You can hear that creaking sound, and that's usually how you know they're close.
Air, ground, this is all wrong.
So I'm assuming it's somewhere nearby. Could be this way. Huh. Yeah, it's on top of the building. Not sure how it got up there. But it's up there. And so far, I don't see any kind of stairs to head up there. There's no special little magic trick. leads back to the stairway. Don't particularly want to be in the stairway. So, let's see. That's where all the other quests are. So, check the quests.
Let's keep moving.
Jeez.
Where'd you come from?
Apparently. Secret teleport. Who knew? In the face. And here's another thing. When you kill something here, sometimes they turn into a goo instead of dust. Very strange. Didn't expect that at all. Let's see what happens here. So far, nothing. So, that's good to know. Just found out something new. I've found a few of these before. They look like they were just inactive. But now that I know that they could possibly be teleports, that leaves me wondering about a lot of stuff I might have missed. Well, greetings to you. Everything seems to be not exactly falling into place, but still seems to be pretty neat. Just kind of wandering around, and I've already been to many places in here, but now that I found out that you can use those as like teleports, I don't know if it's just that one or if it's a few of them. I kind of want to see what happens. Let's see. I wandered from there. And shot straight across from the stairway. Well, I'm not exactly a human in the game. But if you're talking about real life, stay at home, mom. Self-explanatory. Not much else to say on that. Well, what is everything and what is nothing? How could I possibly answer that? I hate to answer a question with another question, but what does that have to do with the price of rice in China?
I'd heard stories about the soul camp, but never thought I'd see it myself. So far, it's not what I imagined.
That's an excellent question. As for the question you asked earlier, what is everything and what is nothing? I don't know, I guess life. So, I'll give you a hint.
Stay away from the Oblivion Gate, I told them. Did they listen? Of course not.
So what is with the riddle? Answer me that. Now I'm gonna search the goo.
Look at this place. I can't imagine choosing to come
Well,
here.
considering I am playing a game and my brain doesn't do so well with multitasking, asking me riddle while I'm trying to concentrate on something else makes it difficult for me to answer any kind of question. Neat.
I think a vampire would be right at home in this place. Could be wrong. Let's just find my mother and get out of here. Look at this. What kind of place is this?
So, trying really hard to free a person, apparently. There's a person down there.
I feel terrible for the dead who end up here for eternity. Seems awful. They're so suffering.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Okay. So, there's also a soul gem above that place as well. Alright. Freed that person. Unboxing and stocking movies. Oh yeah, that sounds like an awesome job. That is great.
Is there no end to this night?
Well. I agree. Humans can be quite interesting. Let's see. Spoken with her. Already been over here. Huh. I often wonder if this is places that I have already been. Interesting. Interesting. Ooh, shiny.
Where'd you come from? I feel terrible for the dead who end up here for eternity. It seems awful, like they're still suffering.
That's some pretty in-depth thinking there. Ooh. Should I? I'm gonna do it anyway. There's no telling what's on this rooftop. That did nothing. Yeah, well, it is a pretty awesome thing to think about. You don't have a soul, you are a soul. Gives a whole new meaning to my body as my temple. Ooh. Aw. It won't let me take it.
Let's keep moving. I feel like we're being watched.
No, I could not see it. All I see is question marks above everything that you've sent so far and messaged. Just putting that out there. Well, it's nice to meet you via cruise. Is it cruises? I am very bad. I butcher names like, well, someone in a butcher shop. Not a very good analogy there.
I can't imagine choosing to come here. My mother must have been terrified.
So what brings you to my inbox and videos? How is it up there in space?
Where'd you come from?
One shot, one kill. So, interdimensional being in space who likes to ask riddles is watching my video that I am live broadcasting. Okay.
I feel terrible for the dead who end up here for like they're still suffering.
I guess technically the Earth is pretty much in orbit, but I myself and my physical body are not exactly in space. But if you count as the planet being, you know, twirling around, la-di-da, then maybe you could count me in space. But no, I'm not in space. It's okay, Justin. I stay confused. Not exactly sure why anyone in space would want to watch my videos. Ah. Basically, the Earth is a giant cubicle, and we just all work on it. I get you. So basically, this portal here shot me through a grate. Awesome. Now I wonder if I were to... No, I don't want to Thume. Come on now. Yeah. Let's try magic. Da 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 da. Well, let's try. Here we go. Now I'm curious. So this is my Daedric armor. It is quite nice. I'm very proud of it. Alright. I have no idea what's going on or what I'm supposed to be doing. I just know this thing teleported me up here for a reason, and I have no idea what to do. So, perhaps it just teleported me up here just so it could suck the life out of me. It's going to be doing that for quite a long time, considering I'm an immortal being that's practically already half dead. In addition to the fact that I am a level 404. So, with that being said, it's gonna be a while before it can take me down. But the person that's with me, or the other vampire that's with me, it's gonna be easier to take her down than it would be me. Which normally that'd be the opposite case. So I have no idea what I'm doing. So there's that. Alrighty. Well, that's cool. It's good to know. I'm gonna wander aimlessly through this maze of, well, just a regular old mausoleum with dead things, which makes sense. Honestly, I haven't even received a quest line for this yet. I'm ahead of things. There's things that I could go back and do and see if it will show up then, but I'm thinking that this is more of a quest that is supposed to be completed via like a special quest. Like you do one quest, it gives you another quest, it gives you another quest.
I feel terrible for the dead who end up here for eternity.
Well, some people fear what you refer to as the illusion of death, and some people do not. So, what does that tell you? The ins and outs of this particular area. Not sure what to do. I mean, of course, you're right, Justin, I could Google it, but I feel like it's kind of cheating. I don't want to cheat. I've been all in this place and on top of it, and I have not seen anything that remotely resembled this vampire chick's mom. Been here. Ended up there.
Look at this place.
Went there. What's over your pay raise, Justin? So, I've been to several places here, and I am not finding what I'm looking for, or who I'm looking for that matter. Oh, about the illusion of death. Whether there's people who fear it and people who don't. I guess it's a way of self-satisfying your ego about how brave you are and that you're important of some kind. Establish your importance into the world. If it doesn't exist and you're not truly afraid of it, I mean, are you really brave for not being scared of something that never existed in the first place? Yahtzee! Don't judge me. I found a place I haven't been in before. Woo!
You'd think a vampire would be right at home with the place. You'd be wrong. Let's just find my mother and get out of here.
So, I haven't been to this area before, and I'm going to search it. So, I came in through this here, and guess I will try to go up here. There's a barrier. This leads to nowhere. I was correct, it leads to nowhere. Alright, so let's go to the other side. Ooh. Anything of importance over here? So, just out of curiosity, person, in all seriousness, why did you pick now? Why did you pick here on my gaming videos to decide to speak about yin and yang, life and death, and riddles? Queen movie. Well, Justin, you might want to, you know, elaborate on that. What Queen movie? There's so many. I mean, there's some with Queen in the title, and then there's some that are about a queen. You gotta be more specific. So I made it into this area. I have no idea what's going on. And so far I haven't found anything remotely interesting. Other than a box that had things in it.
I'd heard stories about the soul cairn, but never thought I'd see it myself. No, but there's no way she would have left it in Tamriel. She wanted to get it as far away from my father as possible.
Well,
I can't imagine a better place.
there's no reason for why not here and now. But I would still like an actual answer to the question I asked. Without being answered by a question. Oh, dude. Okay, yeah.
Then we find out where she hid it.
I have not seen the
she's still
Bohemian
alive.
Rhapsody.
Well, as alive as she
Movie.
was before. Or as now. Or... you know what I mean.
Now, not to be hateful or ugly, but for someone who wants to question life, and I have no problem with discussing this further, while I'm gaming seems to be an odd time. So, why not just personal message me? Instead of doing it in my newsfeed. Like my little chat feed there. I mean, any other time but now would be great. It's not like I go onto your chat page and start asking you about Jesus Christ or dildos and wine.
I feel terrible for the dead who end up here for eternity. Seems awful. Like they're still suffering.
Well, for example, I don't really want to contribute time into a conversation while I have a very short time where I can just have some game time. Not self-reflection time, game time.
Around. This is all wrong.
What is the purpose of this place? I know. I'm a bit, abrasive. I have a very, vulgar humor.
Mother? Mother!
Woohoo!
It can't be. Serana?
Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We
Found
have to
her.
talk.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to complete the prophecy our way, not his.
Wait a moment. You've brought a stranger here?
Yeah,
Have
I'm
you
a
lost your
stranger,
mind?
bitch.
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire of mixed blood is in the company of my daughter? Safe? You call bringing her here safe? Has she explained nothing to you? Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you. You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself.
La 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 la.
When I fled Castle Volkihar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Ariel and his arcane weapon, Ariel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon.
La 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 la.
Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor. It was expected of her, just as it was expected of me. Being selected as an offering to Molig Bal is an honor. She wouldn't have dared turn her back on that. Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible. If Harkon obtained Ariel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires. And how exactly do you plan on completing the prophecy without the death of my daughter? If you believe that, then you're a bigger fool than I originally suspected. Don't you think I weighed that option before I enacted my plans? You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. You see the tyranny of the sun as your chance at deification. And like Harkon, you won't hesitate to destroy anything that stands in your path. Serana? This stranger may call herself vampire, but she knows nothing of our struggle. Why should I entrust you to her?
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known her than you've done in centuries.
How dare you? I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father.
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
Oh, Serana, if you'd only open your eyes. The moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you two. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that. Maybe we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him, before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me. But for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can. Yes, I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins. You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled here. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnevere roaming the cairn. Be wary of him. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the Keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat. When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place. I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they crave. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, I would never have come here.
Lovely.
The Ideal Masters unleashed their Keepers and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins. Unfortunately, yes. Since the Keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to breach. Time has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game, each watching the other to see which will give in. I know very little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the Soul Cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance.
So, Leighton Shepherd via Crucis? Huh. Interesting name.
Well, some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotting the Soul Cairn. I believe there's more to it than that. I think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form. Perhaps they were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence.
Nice.
Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims.
Well,
The Ideal Masters'
I'm
weakness
gonna
is
get
their
off here,
insatiable hunger for
and
pure
I hope you all
souls.
stay magical.
It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only
Later.
leverage a necromancer has when bargaining.
The other door was unlocked.